A trip to Italy is closer than you actually think. Warm pasta, savory sausage, a creamy sauce, and warm, crusty bread are all things that go together better than a gondola in Venice. I'll start this journey off by browning sausage, onions, and peppers until they're super aromatic. Then I'll add lots of good flavors. Tomato paste, stewed tomatoes, and crushed tomatoes all go in. The dish is flavored with lots of basil and just a little sugar to round it all out. The white cheddar garlic bread that I'll serve with it is always a hit. It looks super elegant and takes just minutes to put together. Dinner will be on the table before you're able to find the cheapest flights to Rome. Hey y'all, what's up? You know who I am. I'm Darius, and I'm here to make amazing recipes using familiar ingredients mixed up with a few stories from my grandmother's kitchen. So let's get started. I'm super excited about what we are going to do today, right? So I love Italian food. I think there's nothing better than the flavors of Italy. I love a good bowl of pasta, especially if it's cooked right. And I think one of the things that really sets this recipe apart is how we're going to cook the pasta. But also, I feel like if you're gonna have pasta with a little sauce, that means you need something to sop up all those delicious juices with, right? So I am going to be making garlic bread. So what I want to do first is I just want to get in here and get some garlic all chopped up. That's going to be super important. Now listen, there are certainly times when you can use the fresh stuff, right? And then there are times when you can use the granulated stuff or stuff in a jar. Listen, okay? The thing about Italian food is that it's simple, it's clean, and most of the times it really uses really super fresh ingredients. So do yourself a favor, and when you can, make sure we're using the fresh stuff, right? So I'm gonna be using fresh garlic in our garlic bread because it's gonna be fantastic. And you know what's crazy about this is that the presentation on this garlic bread is super amazing. Like, it's gonna be dope. Just watch me, okay? All right. So garlic's all chopped. Let me grab a few other things to make this garlic bread. Now it's the usual cast of characters that you normally find in a garlic bread, right? This is not going to be surprising. So I've got a full stick of butter, right? It's going to be for a lot of garlic bread, all right? And you just saw me chop up a couple of cloves of garlic. The more, the better. This is about 3 cloves, right? I like to season this, so I'm gonna put a little bit of salt and pepper in from the beginning. Remember, for me, it's all about layers of flavor, and I feel like you gotta make sure things are seasoned well so that it tastes really good, right? So salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna throw in dried parsley. Now I love what this does. It's not really a lot of flavor. Yeah, a little bit of freshness, but not a whole lot. What I love though is it's gonna look very pretty against our garlic bread. All right, so this is it. This goes on the stove. I'm gonna get this all heated up and melted together. All right, in the meantime, let me show you how this works. So our butter is gonna get nice and melted and all come together. And what I'm gonna do is I've got a nice fresh artisan loaf right from the bakery. Most grocery stores really do have really great breads these days, right? So this was like a fresh loaf that was baked this morning. I know that because when I picked it up, it smelled downright amazing. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting slits down the bread. Now, I'm not going all the way through, and I'm giving myself about 1 inch or so in terms of room between the slits that I'm making for the bread, right? So I'm gonna do it one way. That's the first way. And I'm gonna flip it around. I'm just gonna come across the other way. Now this is a very, wait, let me put one more right here, hold on. This is a very elegant presentation when it comes to garlic bread. And not only that, but this is gonna taste really good as well. I remember growing up, man, like whenever we used to make like spaghetti, that was like a thing that we all loved. The garlic bread was like the thing to have. And so I remember always having really good garlic bread. Now, My grandmother wasn't studying fresh artisan loaves as I was growing up. What she was doing was going to the supermarket and getting the garlic bread out the frozen section. But nevertheless, it was still downright amazing. So I'm just taking those same flavors, that same tradition, and growing it up a bit. All right. So look at what I got, right? So I've got a nice sort of studded piece of garlic bread, or piece of bread. We're going to turn it into garlic bread in 1 second. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stuff, hold on, let me get right up in here. Hold on. We're going to stuff. See, the more grooves you make, the more room there is for the garlic flavor to get down in there. So we're going to stud this with cheese and with garlic and the whole bit. Speaking of cheese, let me grab some white cheddar out the fridge. All right, so I got my cheese here. Now, what I'm going to do with the cheese is I'm going to cut like little small slices out of our cheese, because we can tuck the cheese into the garlic bread. Well, it's bread now. It's regular bread, but it's going to be garlic bread. Now, any cheese will work. Whatever cheese you like. I'm a cheese lover. I try to put cheese in everything, okay? So this is right up my alley. There's cheese all over this menu. I'm using a nice white cheddar, but hey, let your imagination run wild. You want something that melts pretty good though, right? So I just cut these into little pieces, and I'm gonna slide these right in between the layers, just like that, right? And I'm gonna stud this all over until it's complete. All right, we got our bread nice and studded with this cheddar cheese. Now remember, look at this. This is the garlic with the parsley. It smells, I mean, amazing. The garlic is sort of permeated the butter, and this is gonna go all over. Now, before I get messy, let me put this actually, I'm gonna put it on a cast iron skillet. Why not? Let's do that. Let's put it in cast iron. My oven's already preheated to 350, right? So what I'm gonna do is just get this butter all over this bread. All right, all set. Look at this. This looks and smells, I mean, that's gonna be some good stuff. Now the oven is at 350. You don't wanna go super high. No 400, no 450, because you're gonna burn. We want the butter to become one with the bread. We want the cheese to become one with the bread. So 350 is a good place to start. This goes right into the oven to cook off, okay? All right, so let me get a pot, and I'm just gonna fill the pot with water so we can get our pasta boiling. All right, so I got my pot full of water. I'm just gonna put my pot on the stove and get that off to a nice boil. All right, so I did promise you pasta, yes, so I'm gonna give you what I promised you. Call me the postman, because I deliver. All right, so to get started with our pasta, we need a few things to make this taste really good. So I'm gonna throw in a yellow pepper. I'm also gonna grab an onion as well. And what I wanna do is I wanna just get our onion and garlic and pepper chopped up, right? Because these are going to be the flavor basis for our pasta. So this is gonna be a really simple, it's almost a one-pot dish that you can really do any weeknight. And what I love about dishes like this is that it's fancy enough, right? You can do it on a weeknight, or if you really wanted to, this could be something that you did for a little company. You know, folks are coming over, you wanna do a little bit of entertaining, you can certainly go. Now, I'm gonna be using some sweet Italian sausage in this, the pork stuff. Okay, I'm not with that no pork on my fork. Me and the pork, we gets down. Okay, son, we gets down. but you could certainly substitute if you wanted to with maybe like a ground chicken or ground turkey. All of that really does work well. Remember, most of the recipes that I'm going to do for you are really just sort of foundations, right? They're foundations, and what you do is you take those foundations and you build on those. So I'm using pork sausage, but you can certainly switch that up. Or if you wanted to, you could even use no sausage, like maybe a chickpea or a black bean, and you could even go vegan. I'm not doing that. But listen, if you wanted to, you certainly could. All right. So I'm just getting together some stuff that's going to make a difference in this dish, right? Garlic, onion, peppers, and I'm going to get those sauteed down. There's no magic to smashing, garlic and chopping it. Just get it chopped and get it ready to go in the pan. All right. So I got a skillet that's preheated. I'm going to get all these in with my Italian sausage. All right, let's go. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in the pan. It's nice and hot and smoking. This is exactly what we want. First in is gonna be that lovely Italian sausage, right? So I'm just gonna come in here, and the idea is to break this up with a fork or a spoon or a spatula or something, just to make sure it cooks all the way through. I love what's happening. These little brown bits are happening. That's gonna be loads of flavor, and you don't wanna forsake that, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of our vegetables in. These are the peppers, the onion, the garlic, all that goes right in. And it's immediately you start to smell what's happening. This is all good stuff that's happening on the bottom of this pan. I wish you could smell it, but you can't, so you gotta make it so you'll be able to see what this smells like. Woo, this is gonna be some good cooking. Now look, if the pan's a little dry, a little more oil ain't never hurt nobody. There we go. Let me give this a little seasoning, a little salt and pepper. That makes everybody taste good. Remember, you know how I do, man. It's all about what I'm calling layers of flavor from the very beginning. So let's make sure we do that. If you layer now, you ain't really got to eat bland food. You don't have to wait till later on and be like, something's missing. Seasoning. All right, let's do this. Look at this. As soon as our sausage starts to cook out, the thing we're going to start doing is we're going to add some flavor to this pan. All right. So I'm making a little space in the middle because I'm going to add in some tomato paste. Now I'm going to work this tomato paste out until it blooms. A couple of tablespoons worth will do you some justice. And what I want to do is I want to really mix this around until it's really well incorporated. They call this blooming, right? Blooming is important because what you're going to do is you're going to open up the pores, if you will, of the tomato paste. And all you do basically, you just want to cook it until we get it to a point where it's a nice sort of amber color and the whole pan starts to turn that sort of deep red color. That's when you know you're at a good point. Plus, what this does is it really brings out the sweetness in the tomato paste. And this is what this dish is all about, balancing the heat and the sweet. So we're going to be in a really great place. All right. While this is blooming, look, our water is ready to go for our pasta. So let me get our pasta in. All right, this is the perfect time to season our water. Remember, whatever's in this water is going to get absorbed into the pasta. So if there's no flavor in the water, guess what? There ain't going to be no flavor in the pasta. Okay? So our 1 pound of rigatoni goes right into the pot. Our sausage and our peppers and onions and garlic and tomato paste are doing all happy things. So this is a good time to add in the rest of our ingredients. So I've got a can of crushed tomato I want to throw in, just like that. And then for that sort of like, we've cooked for a long period of time taste, I'm going to throw in a can of stewed tomatoes as well. All right, that goes right in, and immediately I can start to smell. I'm going to reduce our heat a little bit. I don't want this to cook too fast to the brown. I want this to cook nice and slow, right? This is going to be a fantastic pasta sauce. I can't even talk, okay? This is going to be a fantastic pasta sauce. It's going to cook through, and it's going to be really, really amazing. Like, I can already smell the tomato, the sweetness coming through. We're gonna do a few more things to make this really good though, all right? This definitely needs seasoning, so a little bit of salt and pepper are gonna go a long way in this dish. So there's some salt. I'm gonna add some more pepper. To bump up the garlic flavor, this definitely needs some granulated garlic as well. All right, I'm gonna drop in a few more herbs and spices. So here's some of that granulated garlic I was talking about. A little bit of that goes in to help just bump up that garlic flavor. You know, we're doing all this work to make this taste amazing. Want to make sure you can taste all the layers of flavor. All right, that's a little bit of oregano that went in there. Listen, shh, don't tell anybody. Okay, this is between me and you. This stays between you and I. This is ground fennel. Oh my God, this stuff is so good. You know that sort of almost licorice anise flavor you taste inside Italian sausage? That's the whole seed. This is the seed that's been ground, and it adds amazing flavor. And you cannot make this without loads of dry basil. So I'm going to put in a little too much dry basil, and I'm going to give this a stir ever so gently. And I want you to see what's happening in this pot. I want you to see how thick and rich this sauce is. I'm just gonna add some sugar, and we're gonna bring this thing right on home. All right, look at that. That looks amazing. All right, I'm just gonna put this on low and let this simmer. And I'm gonna go ahead and get our pasta drained. All right, so our pasta is all nice and drained. Everything's ready to go. Check me out though, right? One of the things I feel like I love about a dish like this is the fact that we get to add more cheese in this dish. So I am going to figure out a way, as much as I can, to load up cheese in this dish, right? You can certainly use the low-fat option, but it needs it, you know, like it really does. One of the things that makes this dish so good is the creamy factor from the cheese. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just cube mozzarella cheese, and I'm gonna tuck the mozzarella cheese in the pasta. That way when it bakes off, it melts throughout, and it's gonna be really, really good. I gotta get one more ingredient, and we'll put this bad boy together. All right, the other ingredient is obviously some heavy cream. So let's do it. Let's put everything together. Okay, this is a little warm, so you wanna be careful. All right, I wanna grab the pasta sauce, right? And I'm gonna throw the pasta sauce right into a bowl. Look at that. Look at that. All right, that's the tomato paste, the crushed tomatoes, the stewed tomato, the onion, the garlic, all very, very good things. A little bit of heavy cream, right? This is creamy after all, right? And watch what happens to this color. Watch how it sort of immediately changes to a nice sort of rosy color. That's what the heavy cream does, Doc. It makes it amazing. All right, let's grab some pasta. All right, our pasta is perfectly cooked to al dente. So I'm just gonna get our pasta right in here, right? And I'm going to also throw in that cheese and get the whole thing mixed up. Now this is where it's at, okay? We're gonna stir nice and gently to make sure the whole thing is combined. Now, no doubt you might have leftovers from this. This is a perfect time to take this. You can certainly freeze this in a food storage bag or a Tupperware container. You can freeze this, and then whenever you're ready for pasta, you just take it and throw it in the microwave or throw it back in the oven and you're good to go. Okay, this is some good stuff. Good things are happening with this dish. Now, you can put this in a casserole dish, but my grandmama didn't always have a casserole dish, and we already got one dish that we've dirtied up. Let's use that, okay? So I'm gonna throw as much as I can right back into the cast iron skillet, just like that. The oven is preheated still because we have that lovely garlic bread working out in there, okay? And I'm gonna get as much as I can. Oh, look at this. I can get all of it in. All of it goes in. Now, you know that cheese drawer. You know, you got leftover cheese hanging out. You don't know what kind it is. Cheddar, Kobe. Wait, hold on. Hold on, I got some stragglers. I want all of it. All right, you don't know what kind of cheese. Kobe, I don't know. Cheddar, who knows whatever kind of cheese it is. Well, I got some that I found in my fridge. Literally, in my fridge. Gouda, maybe, cheddar, I don't know, but it's gonna be good, right? And this goes right on top My mouth is watering. You know what happens when stuff starts looking this good. This cheese goes right on top. Just dump all of it out, okay? Because it's gonna melt down and be amazing. I'm gonna smooth it out a little bit. And I'm gonna help this out with a little bit more flavor, all right? Remember the basil right on top, just like that. So as it bakes up, it looks really pretty in the oven. Just like that, all right? That is snow basil. This is off into the oven, just until the cheese melts through. All right, I smell some stuff, and it smells like heaven in this kitchen. The whole house smells of garlic and tomato and sausage. Let's see what we got in the oven. Woo-wee! Yes, yes, yes. Look at this amazing garlic bread that I was telling you about. Look how crusty this is. Oh, okay. That's gonna be some good eating. Also, let's get the pasta out. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Let me grab a fork, cause I want to just go right in, man, and grab a piece. See what I was telling you about? Do you see how that mozzarella cheese just sort of melts down in between because we tucked it under? Now, let me grab, look at that. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Let me see if I can. Let me tell you how creamy this is. The pasta is cooked just right, super al dente. That sauce is sweet, but super unctuous. The garlic comes through, the onion, it all happens. We grab a little piece of this bread situation happening, where we tucked all that good cheese underneath. Look at that, bread, cheese. Ho, ho, ho. Nobody's getting kissed tonight. There's garlic everywhere. It's so good. Makes you wanna lick your fingers and do a little dance, okay? Recipes like this can be found at one place, okay? blackfoodnetwork.com. Listen, two things I gotta leave you with, as I always do. Food is my life. It's my food. Until next time, I gotta wish you happy cooking. From my heart to yours. Bye, y'all. Oh.